Hello and welcome at Thomas Geiger Car, today with the new Audi e-tron. After the car has been on the news for more than 2 years now, we're finally allowed to drive it. It still takes a few weeks until it hits the market, but it has been revealed in San Francisco a few days ago. Now we're here in Africa to drive the final stages of the prototypes. From the outside it's still camouflaged, but interior and most of all the powertrain is the final version. So if you want to know if this car could keep up with Tesla's Model X and Mercedes EQC, join me on my test drive and I'll tell you more about it. The e-tron is powered by 2 electrical engines with a total power of 300 kilowatts, equaling 408 horsepower. One engine in the back, that's the main driving engine. One engine in the front, that is working especially if you need the Quattro system. The battery holds 95 kilowatt hours of energy, enough for more than 400 kilometers in the WLTP cycle. To charge it, Audi has installed 150 kilowatt technology, means you can recharge the battery to a status of 80% in about half an hour. Even if the e-tron weighs about 2.5 tons, it is extremely fast. Acceleration from 0 to 100, 5.7 seconds. Top speed is governed at 200 kilometers per hour. More than the competitors of Tesla, Mercedes and Jaguar, Audi is focusing on driving pleasure. Not only that I have different setups for the air suspension to lift the car about 5 centimeters when I go off-road, or to lower it almost 3 centimeters when I go fast on the highway to lower the drag coefficient and to maximize the range. No, I have also 7 different drive profiles, from very dynamic to very comfortable and to hardcore off-roading. Means I can play with the traction, I can play with the stability system, I can even drift the car. That is something not possible with any other electric vehicle on the market at the moment. The interior of the e-tron is inspired by the actual Q8, A8 models of Audi. So we have the same digital cluster instrument, we have the Bose big 2 touchscreens, but we have, for example, a new gear lever that is inspired by a spaceship, and we have more storage capacity since there is no gearbox anymore. And most of all, we have a really fancy detail: the first electric rear view mirror. Due to the drag coefficient, Audi has replaced the traditional mirrors with a video camera and put 2 small screens into the doors, and do not only display the view of the camera, no, they are touch screens, so you can touch the screen and can scroll and zoom in and out, and the screens also display the warnings of the driver assistance systems. So a real futuristic, nice feature never done before in a production car. For sure, the best seat in the house is behind the wheel, as in every car, but the e-tron is also suitable on the back seat. Space and legroom is almost comparable to the long wheelbase Q5 that is known in China. So enough space even for adult occupants on a long journey. And something that makes the difference, there is no center tunnel anymore. Since I have 2 electric engines and no mechanical transmission in between the engines, I don't have these mountain between the seats. So even in the center position I can somehow sit comfortable, and I can easily move from the left to the right and back without having to climb over that tunnel. For the designers, the e-tron was quite a bit of the challenge, because on the one hand it should look like an Audi, it should easily be recognizable. On the other hand, it should look like a new car, like an electric car for a new era. So they choose the traditional SUV shape, but they changed some details. We got an inverted single frame grille that is closed due to the better aerodynamics, and we got a different rear that's more like a coupe shape. Car is about 4.90 meters in length, so a little less than a Q7, and it is very roomy inside. 600 liters trunk space in the back and an additional 60 liters trunk space in the front. Lots of legroom in the rear, so perfect everyday cruiser. Thanks for joining me on that first ride with the new Audi e-tron, a car that will have a significant input on the market of electric premium vehicles. It is not as fancy as the Tesla Model X, and it is more consequent than the Mercedes EQC. Looking good, driving good, having enough space, being fully practical. This car is going to mark the end of Mr. Elon Musk's Tesla's comfort zone. Thank you, Tschüsschen, and bye-bye.